Today on TVC News, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, how UT students are standing up against rape culture.
Plus, an astronaut comes to UT campus, what the last man to walk on the moon has to say about his time in space.
And SGA elections are coming to a close. What candidates had to say in Monday's debate, all that and more coming up. Welcome to another episode of TVC News. I'm Megan McGuire.
And I'm Jake Albright. Sexual assault is becoming a big issue on college campuses around the country, and the University of Tennessee has recently come under fire for an alleged lack of support for sexual assault victims. As TVC News' Lauren Irwin reports, students continue to promote a healthy campus culture. Lauren?
Thanks, Jake. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and in honor of this, the university hosted its annual Hike the Hill in Hills event in order to educate students and bystanders on the dangers of sexual assault. On Friday, April 1st, the Center for Health Education and Wellness hosted its annual Hike the Hill in Hills event. In honor of April being Sexual Assault Awareness Month, the purpose of the event was to bring attention to the issue of sexual violence while also showing support for victims.
It's great to see just so many youth and young people coming together to support this cause, and it just shows the support for survivors, and that is so important, to be able to speak up and to be able to talk about it and to be able to talk about the services that are available. In addition, we greatly appreciate the awareness that it's bringing to our center so that people know that we're here and can receive the support they need.
The hike began in front of the torchbearer, where students united in their high heels to walk to the top of Circle Hill. Once on the hill, students had the opportunity to compete in games such as limbo and a runway competition and enjoy Italian ice and other snacks. Though the hills varied in size and color, the message the students took away from this event was the same.
Well, I chose to walk because I also did it last year to stand in solidarity for sexual assault survivors, because I think that this is a really big issue that's happening on a national level, especially here in campus, and I want to show people that I stand with them.
Say it's a great way to raise awareness about sexual assault on campus. That's why I participate in it. I wanted to help raise awareness about sexual assault on campus. So
students were asked to sign boards asking questions such as, "What does consent mean to you?" The event was a fun, lighthearted way for students to express their support for victims, as well as discuss the issue at hand.
I don't know, my mom gave me this and this. Yeah, basically. Yeah, and this is my sister's. I just felt I wanted to get out of my comfort zone, do something different.
Reporting for TVC News, I'm Lauren Irwin. For more events from the Center for Health Education and Wellness, you can visit their website at wellness.utk.edu. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Lauren. Sex Week 2016 kicked off this week with events all about dating apps, men's and women's health, and of course, sex. Monday kicked off the week-long event with Tinder Love and Care, a roundtable discussion on online dating apps. The evening offered sex trivia and pizza, where students were able to take a break and show off their knowledge of all things sex on Tuesday. The Sexual Assault Center of East Tennessee gave a lecture on how students can overcome sexual violence and assault in their past. That night gave students the opportunity to learn about all things 50 Shades of Orange with BDSM 101. Sex Week will continue through Friday with events about men's and women's health, marriage equality, and Netflix and chill.
College students are products of our society. We are hearing things, we are seeing things from the media, from our friends throughout our lives, and college is often one of the first times that people get to really have some deep conversations with their peers. And I think that's one of the reasons why I do this work, is that I want young people to have the information they need to make good life decisions.
For a full list of events, you can check out Sex Week's website at sexweekut.org or their Twitter page at sexweeksutk.
UT's continuing series, Writers in the Library, met on Monday with special guest poet Nikki Finney. Finney read some of her poetry and discussed her influences such as love, race, and family to an audience of students and faculty. She has written 5 books and won the 2011 National Book Award. The next Writers in the Library event is scheduled for Monday, April 11th at 7 p.m. in Lindsay Young Auditorium of Hodges Library.
The last man to walk on the moon back in 1972 visited campus this week. As TVC News' Connor McCarley reports, former astronaut Howard Schmidt discussed his time in space and his desire to return.
This past Monday at the Howard Baker Center, I attended a lecture by former Senator Harrison Schmidt on the topic of why we need to return back to the moon, and on his experiences as the last man to step on it. University of Tennessee had the pleasure of welcoming Harrison Schmitt, a former U.S. Senator, Harvard graduate, and the last man to walk on the moon. Schmitt gave a lecture on his experiences, as well as why we need to return back to our closest friend in space, the moon.
To the moon, I guess most people just hear about the first one, but it's interesting to hear a new perspective from one of the other missions, the other things that they did besides just landing.
Many people attended this event, including professors, students, and many other avid spacegoers. Not just to hear about Schmidt's interesting lecture, but to hear from a former astronaut whose experiences on the moon benefit his opinion on why we need to return. Bill Dean, a planetary science professor here at the University of Tennessee, had a lot to say about what he found interesting on Schmidt's lecture.
I wouldn't pass this up. He walked on the moon. I'm very intrigued by that latter part of his talk where he talked about reinventing NASA, starting over. I go every year to the big Lunar and Planetary Science Conferences hosted by NASA in Houston. And I see the problems he's talking about. NASA, very successful, like we arrived at Pluto this year and so on. But it is, politically it's a mess. And so I thought his proposal was very interesting.
Schmitt was able to speak on his own experiences working with NASA.
Hovering around, aircraft hovering around the Pacific, that if we needed to, we could communicate through. And one time we did. And one time I helped them out because I found a hurricane they didn't know about. And they diverted from that. There were many TDY military people in the program.
Reporting for TVC News, this is Connor McCarley. To learn more about events at the Howard Baker Center for Public Policy, you can check out their website at bakercenter.utk.edu. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Connor. Coming up after the break, we have Elena Emery in the studio with your weekly sports update.
And we'll take a look at what we can expect for this week's forecast with Sam Robinson. Stay tuned.
The fascinating thing about the brain is that it's largely unknown. You really have to go to the lab to gain practical experience and to discover the unknown yourself. Being the first person in the world to know something about the brain, that's when it gets really exciting.
All right, but we're only buying what you can wear out. Really? The class is called Campaigns. We take everything we've learned so far in PR and put it all together. The client is Autism Breakthrough of Knoxville. Having the experience of pitching to a real-life client is great knowledge to have going into a real life.
Welcome back. And now I've got TVC's Sam Robinson in the studio with your weekly weather forecast. Sam, what can we expect for this week?
April showers bring May final projects. Well, we've had a great weather these past few days, but unfortunately it's not going to last, especially not in East Tennessee. Tonight, those April showers will return until early tomorrow morning. The rain is predicted to clear up by the time classes start, so you might want to wear a jacket. It's going to be a bit chilly at 48 degrees. There's a small chance of rain at about noon, so I wouldn't forget my umbrella if I were you for later. Tomorrow is expected to be partly cloudy with a high of only 63 degrees. Later that night, there is a 70% chance of rain that carries over to Friday. A sad way to kick off the weekend, I will admit. But there's a 50% chance of showers on Friday with a low of 37 degrees. The high will be 56, so umbrellas are a must. Saturday clears up a bit, but is expected to be partly cloudy with a low of 29 degrees and a high of 52. The sun will finally return on Sunday along with a high of 61 degrees, so make sure you get outside and enjoy it. Next Monday is looking mostly sunny with a high of 74 degrees, hallelujah, and a low of 53 degrees. If there is any way at all to study outside, do it. This all happens before a big chance of scattered thunderstorms next Tuesday. There's an 80% chance of rain with a high of 66 degrees and a low of 43. Next Wednesday clears up with a high of 66 degrees and mostly sunny with a few clouds here and there and a low of 44 degrees. So all in all, an average weather week for East Tennessee. So if you take a study break this week, make it count by soaking up the sun before you head back into your study caves. I know I will. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sam. SGA elections run this week through Thursday at 5 p.m. This past Monday, the presidential and vice presidential candidates had the opportunity to discuss their campaigns in the annual debate.
The bar scene on Cumberland Avenue has seen itself diminish recently. Given the impending demise of the bar scene, it is thought that more students will be forced to go further off campus when they go out. Do you see any safety concerns with this? And if so, what do you see as SGA's role?
I think SGA's role should be to try and bring that responsible drinking back to campus. I'm on SGA's Alcohol Policy Review Committee, and we've worked over the past several months to find an alcohol policy that fits for UT. And what we found is students of legal age should be able to drink on campus in their dorm room, apartment room, or private room. And if a student organization wants to hold an event and serve alcohol to students of legal age, they should be able to do so by submitting a site permit to the Division of Student Life.
So similarly, on my campaign, we also have an alcohol policy stating that we want a wet campus, and also in residence halls, predominantly residence halls that are predominantly housing students 21 and over, those that would be out of the bars. And so making sure with that alcohol policy, it's great. We want to have a wet campus. That's been a desire of the student body a long time coming. But where is the alcohol education in that? And where is the education for the threats that alcohol can come in general?
I think just like the other campaigns, our campaign hopes to improve the alcohol policy here at the University of Tennessee. Fuller mentioned event registration. That's one step in that process. But if students do choose to go to that's one process that we're also supporting. But if students do choose to go into downtown Knoxville, I think they need to know more and more about the different services around this community that can provide them safe rides. There's Knoxville area transit buses that are available to all students, given a student discount, and I think that we need to promote that. I've also seen other SGAs implement university riding services to try and provide safe rides for their students. I think safety is a paramount issue to me personally and to our entire campaign.
Besides taking the expected stance against sexual assault, what specifically does your campaign see as SGA's role in combating this issue?
SGA's role in solving this issue and working on this issue it's not within SGA. It doesn't start there. It starts with going out to other organizations, whether it be vol-to-vol peer educators or speakologists trained, going to people within the Center for Health Education and Wellness and doing your research on what's happening in there. While McKinsey and I haven't released like an official policy or backing on Facebook or anything like that, just because it's the thing to do because the campaigns do it, we are completely in support of that office. We're completely in support of that movement on this campus. We want to make sure we're doing what's right here for UT, what's right for the students, that everyone feels safe here, that everyone feels at home. And it's not done through creating even more like committees within the SGA about how we're evaluating sexual assault, because that already exists within the Center for Health Education and Wellness.
I think kind of the biggest issue with sexual assault right now is when a person is a victim of sexual misconduct, they kind of feel attacked and they feel victimized. And we have to make sure that they feel nurtured and safe to report a sexual misconduct. The first thing that we do when you report a sexual misconduct is not read them their judicial rights, or, read them their legal rights. No, we have to show them mental and physical help and make sure they're safe and nurtured and that they are cared for, and we show that we stand together on the University of Tennessee.
I would also agree that while these people experience these terrible things, they're going through a horrible time. They feel mentally defeated, they feel physically defeated. I think it's a very personal issue, and it's a very personal thing on whether or not you want to report it. So I think for my campaign and myself, we're advocating for a really preventative stance. I think we need to prevent these things from happening in the first place because, as we've seen through the Title IX issues and the lawsuit that's currently happening, it's too late when it's already happened. We need to stop these things before they happen, which is why we're advocating for a campus-wide bystander intervention program.
To watch the full video of the debate, you can visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/thevolunteer channel. And now we have Elena Emery in the studio with our weekly sports update. Elena?
This week is all about baseball and softball. First baseman Jordan Rogers was named Southeastern Conference Player of the Week. He leads the SEC and NCAA with 48 RBIs and 5 triples over 28 games. In other baseball news, the Vols continued their stretch of 6 straight home games as they hosted Morehead State on Wednesday. Both the Vols and the Eagles have 17 and 11 records. However, the Vols are 6 and 13 in the SEC Conference, while the Eagles are 6 and 6 in the Ohio Valley Conference. The Vols are coming off a huge 11-0 shutout over UNC Asheville and an SEC win against number 12 ranked Kentucky. Last time Morehead State and Tennessee went head-to-head, the Vols lost 11-8. On Tuesday, softball hosted Kennesaw State, winning in Big Orange fashion 8-0. The Vols remain perfect at home this season with 14 wins. Rainey Gaffin threw 4 innings and only allowed 1 hit in the infield. Following Gaffin, freshman pitcher Maddie Moss came on to close the game, getting 3 straight outs after giving up just 1 hit in the top of the 5th. Amazingly, 9 out of the 10 starters either got a run, got a hit, or had an RBI. Up next, the Vols play Texas A&M this Friday at 6 p.m. Like Sam said, the weather is going to be great, so go out and support the baseball and softball teams this weekend. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Elena. And coming up after the break, Peyton Manning sings Rocky Top. A helicopter crash leaves 5 dead, and Doris Day celebrates a big birthday. Stay tuned.
The energy at Tennessee reaches far beyond our campus. As Lady Vol and academic All-American, Candace Parker set new standards. Now she electrifies fans in LA. Keeping the lights on there and across the country is the work of Professor Elu Liu. Her research on the power grid puts UT at the forefront of this national issue. Candace Parker and Elu Liu, 2 exceptional women. Both chose Tennessee. Big Orange, big ideas.
Oh, shoot. It's Friday. All right.
As noted on the syllabus, every Friday is Big Orange Friday.
Today is Friday! Yeah, go Vols!
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me what day it is?
It's Friday!
If you're a Tennessee Vol, every Friday is Big Orange Friday.
All right.
Welcome back.
Peyton Manning made a special appearance in Nashville yesterday where he blessed his audience with a volunteer favorite. Take a look. The Broncos retiree has been off the field for a month now, and he still hasn't announced what his post-NFL plans are. The guests at the Nashville bar chanted with the VFL, and although he put a lot of heart in his song, fans are laughing at his lack of vocal ability. He was joined on stage by Grammy nominees Lee Brice and Shay Mooney of Dan and Shay for the fun performance.
Investigation continues at the site where a helicopter crashed and killed 5 people in Pigeon Forge on Monday. Federal officials say it may take up to a year to determine how and why the aircraft went down in Sevier County. At this time, officials believe the helicopter struck a nearby bridge line where it then hit the ground and caught fire. The sightseeing helicopter was on a 12-minute tour when it crashed and killed the pilot and all 4 passengers. The victims were visiting from North Carolina. Because the fire destroyed much of the helicopter, the investigation process will be complicated. The NTSB is expected to release a preliminary report by the end of the week.
Alabama legislators are taking action to impeach their governor, Robert Bentley. Due to a highly publicized sex scandal facing the second-term governor, several Republican state representatives highlight his uphill battle. Representative Ed Henry said the governor had betrayed the trust of the people of Alabama through his actions and lies. Bentley is vowing to fight the impeachment, stating there are no grounds. Bentley claimed the impeachment is a political attack meant to draw attention away from the real issues. Audio recording surfaced last month of a sexually explicit conversation between Bentley and one of his aides, Rebecca Mason. Both denied having a physical affair.
I've addressed the issues related to that. Those issues have been taken care of long ago.
but it has just been made public just recently, and I have to address them again.
Bentley and his wife divorced last year. Bentley has publicly apologized and said multiple times that he will not resign.
At least 53 people have been killed by flash floods caused by torrential rain in northwest Pakistan, according to officials. The rain started on Saturday, bringing flooding to parts of northwestern provinces. These pre-monsoon rains often cause devastating damage in rural Pakistan. Locals have been warned to leave their villages for safer places. The weekend's rain saw dozens of people taken to the hospital with injuries. Many shops, homes, and bridges were swept away in the flooding. Officials said that tents and other relief goods have been sent to the region to help.
Screen legend Doris Day turned 92 on Sunday and gave the world a gift by sharing an adorable photo. The actress shared a photo of herself and her dog Squirrely with People magazine, and it's delighting fans across the world. She celebrated her special day with friends in Carmel, California. The avid animal activist told People magazine that she's not very fond of birthdays anymore. She said, quote, "Age is just a number." The singer and actress was known as America's sweetheart and the girl next door when she appeared in films such as Calamity Jane and Pillow Talk, along with her TV series, The Doris Day Show.
You sigh, the song begins. You speak, and I hear violins. It's magic.
A very happy birthday from all of us here at TVC News.
The 51st Annual Academy of Country Music Awards was held this past Sunday night. I saw an array of performances and tributes as Darius Rucker and Martina McBride paid tribute to Joey Feek. Feek, who is half of the award-winning duet Joey and Rory, lost her battle with cancer last month. She will be greatly missed within the music industry. The evening also saw a performance from Dolly Parton and Katy Perry, who sang a mashup of Parton's Coat of Many Colors, Jolene, and 9 to 5.
9 to 5, what a way to make a living. Barely get to buy. It don't take you and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to try.
Dolly and Katy's duet has reignited Parton fans' love for the Country Music Hall of Fame legend. Her first major North American tour in 25 years, Pure and Simple, will debut later this year with the release of a double-disc album, Pure and Simple, with Dolly's biggest hits.
Keep Our World Green is the theme for this year's Earth Month celebration on April 7th on the HSS Amphitheater lawn. The Office of Sustainability will feature environmentally focused organizations on campus and in the surrounding area to promote sustainable practices. The 8th annual Recycle Olympics will also be held at this event to educate students on the importance of recycling while offering various competitions. Multiple vendors, artisans, and businesses will be in the attendance from around Knoxville to help promote sustainability and green practice. Free food will also be provided at the event. For more information, contact Sarah Cherry at secherry@utk.edu.
Headlining acts are arriving in Knoxville this weekend to perform at this year's Rhythm and Blooms Music Festival. The event will take place in the Old City and will showcase popular mainstream bands including Mute Math and the Mavericks, as well as some of East Tennessee's finest local talent. The festival focuses on the identity and spirit of East Tennessee and will reflect that through their music, as well as its vendors and local restaurants. Rhythm and Blooms will run from Friday through Sunday. General admission weekend passes will be $75 and day passes will also be available. To learn more about the lineup as well as hear playlists of all the bands coming to town, you can visit their website, rhythmandbloomsfest.com.
The College of Education, Health, and Human Sciences is hosting their very first Chalk Walk this Thursday starting at 5 p.m. CEHHS hopes to use arts to showcase the great things about their college. From the outreach efforts hoping to change the world to initiatives to help students and faculty on campus. The artists will create their works Thursday night and they will be on display down pedestrian walkway throughout the day on Friday. So I'm really excited about the Rhythm and Blues Festival this week. We have some amazing artists coming to Knoxville, but I don't think many East Tennesseans know about the great talent that's actually here in Knoxville already.
Yeah, no, for sure. If they get to take some time out of their day, they're definitely going to experience that and see kind of what East Tennessee has to offer music-wise. So that'll be great for them to be able to see that. And then also just here on campus, students have lots of great opportunities for Earth Month. That's going to be a lot of fun, lots of events going on.
The Recycle Olympics.
Yes, it'll be lots of fun. So y'all have to check it out, okay?
Yeah, that's going to do it for today's show. I'm Jake Albright.
And I'm Megan McGuire. Have a good week, UT.